You got to love that Ryan Day embraced Ohio State's extremely high standard.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Ryan Day, during his 15-minute live press conference on the Big Ten Network, didn't shy away from embracing Ohio State's extremely high standard. And as Ohio State's coach in a very important season, that's exactly what you want. You want the coach at Ohio State to not shy away from answering questions about various topics or position battles and things, but also you want a coach that truly understands what it means to be the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, because it's unlike coaching any other program in the country. Now, you may say, Jay, USC is one of those schools that has an extremely high standard. Look what USC has been over the past 20 years. Do you think that would fly in Columbus? Absolutely not. Think about what Alabama. Now, that's a little bit different because Saban's the GOAT. I don't say the GOAT loosely. He is the greatest college football coach of all time. But Alabama's had down years. Down years. You can look at history and think about that. Ohio State doesn't really have down years at all. They don't have that. Auburn and even Georgia's hot now. This wasn't always the way Georgia has been. Ohio State standard and coaching at Ohio State is literally unlike any other school in the country. And if that's the case, you want a man that's calling the shots, that is leading the troops, that fully understands, not just understands the standard, but embraces said standard. And I'm glad Ryan Day did on that stage. He was the last coach to speak on Big Ten Media Days on the first day of the 3-day event. First time in the history of the Big Ten. It's a 3-day event, but when you have 18 schools, it's a whole lot better to have 6 schools go over a 3-day period over trying to cram 9 schools a day during a 2-day span. Trust me, y'all don't want that. I have been there when it's 7 schools a day. It is a long day. It can be mentally exhausting to be basically at a press conference for that long. But Ryan Day kind of made a statement about this. Said, hey, you expect to win every game. That's just what it is. If you don't think that's the case, try losing a game at Ohio State. You're expected to win them all. That's not new. We embrace it in recruiting. We want to make sure that those types of people are in our program. And Ryan Day's realizing it's not just what's going on in Columbus currently. It's also about those guys that'll be in Columbus in the future. And we want to make sure everybody embraces what we got, the standard here. Think about you as a fan of Ohio State and how you react when Ohio State loses. Many of us can pinpoint in our brain individual losses that sting more than normal. For me, it's the Michigan State loss in 2015. That was 9 years ago. But that loss that day, I remember where I was, I remember where I watched the game. I actually believe that was a mid-afternoon kickoff. I don't ask how I remember that either. I just think I remember that part there. I remember my reaction when that kicker, not going to call him any names, he made that kick and it did the windmill celebration. I remember what happened. I remember the feeling I felt. I remember thinking, man, the season, it's not over officially, but they're not going to the playoff to compete for a national championship. You could just throw that out the window. That's exactly what happened. Didn't have a chance to win the Natty that year to go back-to-back. It stung. Some of y'all might not like this. Some of y'all get a little uneasy about the Purdue loss in 2018. The Iowa loss, I think that was 2017. Some people get a little upset about the Michigan State loss in the 2013 Big Ten Conference Championship or the multiple losses to Clemson in bowl games. I believe one of the scores was 31-0, and I believe to the 2013 season. After losing to Sparty, you lose to Clemson. I want to say that was the Orange Bowl as well. Ugh, that's ugly. 2019. Now, if you think that loss, that stinks for me too. Many of you realize, hey, this is standard. We collectively expect Ohio State to win every game. Now, if you're a betting person, it might be a little bit different. But if you're talking about just your fandom and not putting your betting mind into the conversation, you'll probably think, hey, Ohio State has the talent to win every game on their schedule, week in, week out. And there are times you're going to pick against them to win the game. Trust me, we do it here. Don't like it. That's exactly. I got heat for my prediction. I'll say strong heat, but a little light heat for my prediction for the Cotton Bowl when I picked Missouri to beat Ohio State. And it wasn't because I thought Ohio State, if they played their best, didn't have a chance to win the game. I just thought, well, based on the circumstances where guys weren't playing and there's injuries and Common Core transferred, it didn't look like the cards were in Ohio State's favor, and they were not. But that's still not acceptable based off the standard at Ohio State. Ryan Day embraces that. There's been a lot of conversations about Ryan Day and wondering, does he truly understand what it means to be the head coach at Ohio State? Does he truly understand what it means to play in and even coach in this rivalry with Michigan, the game? Not me personally, but a lot of people have been questioning Ryan Day, and does he truly get it? I think he gets it. He doesn't have to be very dogmatic. He doesn't have to be very loud and animated when talking about certain things. No, he does not. What does he have to do? Do his job. He has to do his job. He has to learn, has to tap into things. He has to talk to former players. He has one on the staff, actually multiple on the staff, actually. He has to do all those things. And I believe Ryan Day is embracing it, and I think he's portraying it on the recruiting trail like he mentioned, which is why the Buckeyes are able to get the players that they get. There's a lot of guys out there on the recruiting trail that emphasize the NIL. What can you give me financially? A lot of guys are just coming to Ohio State because, one, they want to come to Ohio State. 2, they want to be developed here. 3, they want to be developed here to go off to the NFL to get a big bag. That's what they want. But also along the way, you also want to win conference, beat your rival. What else you want to do? A lot of big things in college football that don't include losing. Yeah, Ryan Day gets it. That's what you want. You want a coach that gets it, at least understands and embraces the standard. Now, embracing the standard is one thing. How does that translate to what happens on the field? That is another. Trust me, there's a lot of things Ryan Day talked about here during the presser live on the TV as your boy was not able to attend Victon Media Days this year. Decided to stay home. Very wise. I think that was the only decision I was going to make. Son was born a few weeks ago. I'm not going to leave him with my wife all day and just say, no, I got to go. No, family is coming first.